I'm sorry to start this off the way it sounds. I'm very tired. I bought a beer here. I had to cut grass and stuff. I bought that on the way home here. I'm really peed off at COSMO scooters. We're going to put this on the internet. It's part of my criminal justice series as well. As we're in the beer frame, I bought a wheel, and the guy gave me a front wheel instead of the back wheel that I needed. He's given me every part along the way other than what I've needed. So I wanted to cover some things that they're probably going to be humorous to you, including this gate clamp for fence posts. This is for fencing and stuff like that. We're having a real crisis and breakdown in labor and industry, as my other video indicates. I ran all the way out of my way today, okay? I asked the guy if he had large nails, okay? This is the thing is, I told him I wanted a nail about 8 inches long. Excuse my camera follies while I get out the tape measure, okay? I wanted a nail slightly shorter than this, and they are a little bit thinner, and it would have suited my purpose. There's also 6 inch, which I wanted. But when I get the guy on the phone about the nail, he says to me, well, what are you using it for? And I said, well, I want to hang stuff up. And he says to me, what kind of stuff? And I'm like, what kind of dumb bastard am I talking to? Okay, I want what I want. I want a nail 6 inches long and a nail 10 inches long. This is the dysfunction that corporate America, they're not at fault for anything. You can't sue them. They're a corporation. But a guy like me, they'll take me apart by this pants seat, teach me to be a corporation, pay bigger taxes, although I can't. This is what we're facing, especially with I have a court case in Northampton County, Pennsylvania, which I'm going to actually do video coverage with this camera, hopefully. I'm really going to butt-fuck the judge. I don't like shysters. I don't like people that are con artists. I do not like criminals. I build a product, it's perfected. That's perfected in motion outside of its broken shifter and the seat that Frank screwed up and the broken carburetor it came back with. That was my fault. The guy ran into the bike, knocked it against the bumper of my truck, and things are perfection in motion when you can build something and you're capable of doing it consistently. I just sold another bike and a raffle bike. The guy actually bought it out from under me. He just bought every ticket. Uncle Dutch is going to put this thing in the holder. Hopefully I can work this thing intelligently out inside of trying to enjoy my bad habit. And I know this camera, this microphone on this thing is terrible. It has a short distance, so if you get my head or whatever in this video, I had another calamity. I'm going to tell you folks, these hose clamps, when you're trying to fit 1.25 inch fitting and hose, these are a metric size. They are actually advertised in American sizes. They give you the chart, but it's actually metric. And I ran 33 miles out of my way to a distributor that told me he had SAE size hose clamps. I get there, and after I stressed on the phone over and over and over again about what I had, even the part numbers on the package, they handed me the same fucking thing. Called another distributor out in Bloomsburg, big plumbing outfit, and the guy tells me it's a big problem in the industry. He says, I don't know how to go, he says, but I have the SAE hose clamps. So now I got to go 65 miles. That's 120 some odd mile round trip, not to mention the 144 miles I've been putting on my truck for the last 5 or 6 trips to COSMO scooters. This is the problem in the industry, folks, and I'm sorry, I apologize for this camera, and I might seem like a dick. I don't mean, I'm an amateur. I've had a lot of compliments. I want to compliment the people, some of you articulate folks that are on YouTube that are like me. I'm glad that my videos are hitting home, and nobody's posting on it, calling me anything. They're saying, Jesus Christ, you're telling the truth. This is part of my criminal justice series, is what corporate America and big box America that took over and shut out all the little stores. You used to be able to go down to the smaller stores or a proprietor like me without trying to be forced to be a corporation and represent myself for something that I'm not. You used to be able to go down and you knew the guy by name and he would give you what you wanted. Big America and your politicians shut you out of that with their foreign investment in Asia and all those other countries that took our jobs, took our labor, they took our industry, and they took our little stores off of our streets, and they've taken our pride away. Especially people like me that know what they're talking about. I run how many miles one goddamn direction for the guy tells me he has what I want, and he has the same fucking thing I have in a package. I want to rip his head off. I don't know whether I'm competent to even handle myself anymore, the way things are, and the way I get lied to and smoke blown up my asshole by one uneducated boob after another that cannot read simple American instruments. And no, the kids, this is part of the dumbing down of America. They don't care that this is a metric clamp in a package represented as an SAE clamp. To me, it's going over in a shit can. The other thing I had run on me, and this goes back a couple years, it was one of the things I almost got arrested at Lowe's. When I come home from Iraq, like I said, I was a military contractor. I called in a lumber order. I was actually doing this place, and I was doing a favor for a friend, a job and everything. I had disabled vet, hey, I'm going to give you some work. So I had a frame in a porch, an exterior porch. I'm doing it with pressure-treated lumber. And I called in, and not to mention when I got there, most of the lumber, you wouldn't have used it on a porch. There wasn't I think if there was 5 or 6 straight pieces, they gave me every garbage off the piece of the top of the pile. That's how bad they disrespected me. There wasn't a goddamn straight piece of lumber besides a couple pieces to be found. And I ordered 2x8 joist hangers. Excuse me. So I get there and I ask the kid when I get to the counter, and it's a kid, the guy's half my age, quarter of my age. I says, what are the goddamn joist hangers? Well, what are you talking about? I says, the joist hangers that put the boards on the porch, on the, I says, on the ledger board. I says, we call it a ledger board. I says, some people might call it or articulate it as a lintel. I says, I got to nail joist hangers in and hang the joists according to code enforcement. So as emotional as I get, this idiot looks at me and he goes, all we got is T-codes. When I walked out of there, my blood pressure, I have not been right since I've been back from overseas. The generations in all the stores have turned over, and it's turned over to this dumbed down America. Can't size anything. The better product naturally costs more. Even though they know it exists, they're going to offer you the cheapest piece of shit. I don't know what's going on, but this kid, T-codes, they're fucking joist hangers. T-co is the company that makes them. I don't know what to tell you. Not to mention tools that you buy. I'm a neat freak, even though this place gets to be a mess and you get to see that. Made in Taiwan, socket stringer, keep my sockets in order. And now I got to go over and fight with Lowe's because half the time they give me a hard time, even though Cobalt tools are supposed to be guaranteed for a lifetime. It's an inconvenience when the shit doesn't even, that's not even a year old. I bought that last Christmas. This is the stuff that people are putting up with. Your politicians, your legislatures, your congressmen, they're all profiting off of their foreign investment. And you and labor and industry are the ones that are getting fucked with the dumb stuff. As I represent, I like this chain when I get the good stuff. But they must have several factories. Because when I get it, I either get a good one or I get something that was made subsequently with maybe some other machine or something. It's not the same thing. when I get it in the box, even though it's the same company. There are companies, they shut down, they clean their plant, they have an alternate location or something where they'll continue to make their product, or they have one machine goes down. That other machine that they're making the same product with might have been from the Vietnam or the World War II era. This is what was wrong with moving our industry to third world countries. People like me in labor and industry, we buy something, oh, we'll send it back. Costs time, it costs money, it costs labor, and I have another job that I need to get paid for instead of running around and playing with this. I got to get up at 6 o'clock every morning, and my night does not end till 10, 11 o'clock with all this Chinese fucking dumb shit. Trying to find a socket to fit in a goddamn auto part. You know what that's for? That's for an O2 sensor. General Motors. They want $56 for a socket. Not a fucking auto parts store up here had one for that GM O2 sensor on that truck I own, the 3500. I got to make my own goddamn socket, or I got to wait a week or two till they get it in. I went to AutoZone originally with that, as frustrated as I sound. That was another thing that pissed me off. They said, okay, we'll have it, you know, I guess I think it was a Saturday, because I usually work on these trucks, like the brown one, the Chrysler Red, my little girl, I call her, my Silverado. I'll never give up that 99 Silverado.